The trial of the 4 men with military and intelligence links will start in the Netherlands in March next year, although they are likely to be tried in absentia, as neither Russia nor Ukraine extradites their nationals. They would be the first people to face justice over the catastrophe 5 years ago in which 298 people died. But Moscow slammed the absolutely unfounded accusations over the downing of the plane, which was traveling between Amsterdam and Kuala Lumpur when it was hit by a missile over part of eastern Ukraine held by pro-Russian rebels. The Dutch-led inquiry team on Wednesday said international arrest warrants had been issued for Russian nationals Igor Girkin, Sergei Dubinsky and Oleg Pulatov, and Ukrainian Leonid Karchenko, all of whom are suspected of roles in the separatist Donetsk People's Republic. Dutch prosecutor Fred Westerbeck said the 4 were to be held responsible for bringing the Buk missile system from Russia into eastern Ukraine even though they have not pushed the button themselves. We won't demand their extradition because Russian and Ukrainian law forbids the extradition of their nationals. But we ask Russia once more to cooperate. Many of our questions remain unanswered, he told a press conference. The same investigation team said in May 2018 that the Buk anti-aircraft missile that hit the Boeing 777 had originated from the 53rd Russian Military Brigade based in the southwestern city of Kursk. Pompeo welcomed the charges, saying, "We call upon Russia to ensure that any indicted individuals currently in Russia face justice." Waiting for 5 years, relatives of those killed aboard MH17 also welcomed the news. Asked if she personally blamed anyone for the crash, Frederick said, Russian President Vladimir Putin. Because he made this possible. He created this situation. He is the main responsible person. The relatives of the victims have been waiting for this for nearly 5 years, he said. Girkin, who is thought to be living in Moscow, denied the separatists were involved. "I can only say that rebels did not shoot down the Boeing," he told Russia's Interfax news agency. Dubinsky, 56, who was formerly in the Russian military intelligence agency GRU, was head of the intelligence service of the Donetsk People's Republic, while Pulatov, 52, an ex-soldier in the GRU's Spetsnaz Special Forces unit, was one of his deputies. Karchenko was a military commander in Donetsk at the time, the Dutch prosecutors said. During the press conference by the investigators, number of telephone intercepts were played that they said showed the 4 were involved. Absolutely unfounded, Russia vehemently denied all involvement, and complained that it had been excluded from the probe. Once again, absolutely unfounded accusations are being made against the Russian side, aimed at discrediting Russia in the eyes of the international community, the Foreign Ministry said in a statement on its website. Russia insisted last year that the missile was fired by Kiev's forces, adding that it was sent to Ukraine in the Soviet era. Despite claims by Ukraine's government and Dutch media that senior Russian officers would also face charges, none were named by the prosecutors on Wednesday. The Joint Investigation Team, JIT, probing the attack includes Australia, Belgium, Malaysia, the Netherlands and Ukraine, representing the countries hardest hit by the disaster. The Netherlands and Australia said in May last year that they formally hold Russia responsible for the disaster. Of the passengers who died, 196 were Dutch and 38 Australian. Ukraine's foreign ministry urged Russia to acknowledge its responsibility. The war in eastern Ukraine and the MH17 disaster continue to plague relations between Russia and the West. Since 2014, some 13,000 people have been killed. Kiev and its Western backers accuse Russia of funneling troops and arms to back the separatists. Moscow has denied the claims despite evidence to the contrary.